Okay, guys, we have a pretty big haul here, so I don't really want to waste a lot of time, but I will say this haul is going to seem massive, and it is going to be probably our greatest haul ever, and that's mostly because we finished the last haul like around New Year's-ish. We didn't get the video up at New Year's, but we finished, all the games we got in that video were pretty much acquired in January and maybe a little bit of February. So this has almost had like 4 whole months. And where we work got a lot of good trade-ins. We get a discount. So that was like able to accelerate a lot of the velocity. A lot of the games you're going to see here, we got at work well below retail. And I always try to tell you guys, put yourself in the best position possible. And I always say, you don't have to go get a job at a video game store, but you do need to put yourself just in the best position to get games. Because if you're having to resort to buying on eBay, you're kind of at the mercy of eBay. And if we were buying strictly off of eBay, we would not have half of these games that you see here today. So, like, there's a really awesome game we got pretty well discounted because it's disc only. And I'll show you that when it comes up, because where we work at doesn't really value disc only games. So we were able to get it at a pretty good price. A couple of games actually were like that. One game we were able to get because one of the stores we went to, they kind of have this philosophy of once we price it and put it out, we're really not going to change it just because it spikes in price. So we were able to get a good bit of games via that way. So this collection that we're about to show you guys at the price was only doable because of us hunting for this stuff, not eBay. So that's kind of my exposition. Without further ado, this pickups video is kind of long and we don't want it to be 30 minutes, like a 130-minute video. So we're going to break it up. First we're going to do Sony, then we're going to do Microsoft, then we're going to do Nintendo. Kind of feel like that's fitting because Sony's been in the news lately with canceling the PSN, but then bringing it back, PS3 games spiking. So without further ado, we're going to start with PSP. We had a pretty good run at PSP. These are from a bookstore called McKay's. Jessica, I know this is probably going to be a pain in the butt. I can bring it up as close as you want me to. That's why I'm glad I have my cameraman here. So that was me and my Katamari. This is Coated Arms. These are loose. I don't always like getting loose, but hey, what can you do? And Invisimals. Daxter Greatest Hits. That was the only game I had for my PSP before I lost it. I technically had Final Fantasy 1 and 2, like a combo deal, but that was the game that I really played. Ape Escape on the Loose. Got this from my buddy's game store. And Secret Agent Clank. Got this from my other buddy's game store. So these are probably 3 of my favorite... No, these are probably my 3 favorite Sony IPs. Ratchet and Clank, Ape Escape, and Jak and Daxter. If they made... No, those are pretty much my 3 favorite. Yeah, like picking up the Final Fantasy games and like the Grand Theft Auto games would be cool. But alright, now we got just some different games. I am on a PSP kick, which will be pretty evidented by this, but I guess you could say we're on a kick for a lot of these. Fat Princess, Fistful of Cake. And this game looks super interesting. Death Jr. Hey, Evie. I was able to get this at a disc-only price because it didn't have its manual, and the back looks like they just printed out a back. Not the store, but just the previous owner printed out the back. So I was able to talk them into a disc-only price. So I got this for like $5. That's kind of what I'm talking about, like, just put yourself in the best available spot. That way you don't have to pay $15 for a disc-only copy. Alright, PS1, I was really surprised, but Hey, it's a quality PS1 title. Digimon World 1. I had Digimon World 3 as a kid. Absolutely, I'm being real with you, couldn't make it more than 5 minutes into that game as a kid. But I found this, pretty good price. Went ahead and snagged it. On to PS2, we got some different kind of game. What is this? This is a GameCube game in here. Alright. We got some different games for the PS2. Stretch Panic. Look the game up if you want to. But it's a treasure game for the PS2 that I've never heard of. I think it has the makings of a $100 game. I'm not saying it will be a $100 game, just that it has the making of a $100 game. Don't misconstrue. Just because it's got the making doesn't mean that it's going to. Up next, Jessica picked this one out. Monster Lab. Jessica, you want to tell people why you got it?
It looked interesting. I forgot what it does, what it's about. I think you make monsters.
Perform outrageous experiments. Maybe we can stream it at some point.
That'd be cool.
That's one of the reasons we got this collection in the first place, was to start streaming some of this stuff. This is a game, I don't really think it's worth anything. We paid $5 for it. And it just kind of looks like obscure, weird rhythm game. Possibly, maybe, there's something to it. I don't know. Now, we didn't get any PS4 games, and we don't own a PS5, so this is going to be our last section, PS3. So, this came from the store. We took the sticker off. We got it for $15. But we did it out of respect for the store, because they're a store with that philosophy of, once we've priced it out, we're not really going to go back and change it. They had it priced at $15 because they compete with GameStop, and GameStop has it listed at $15. Of course, GameStop is sold out of this game, I'm pretty sure. So you can't really get it for $15, but because they priced it at $15, that's what we were able to find it at. $15 for 3D Dot Hero. You guys may have heard this is one of those games that's spiking in the news. It's like a Zelda-inspired. It's like if Legend of Zelda 1 had Minecraft graphics. But either way, I have been wanting this game forever. I'm glad I was able to find it. Up next, Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. Now, what I'm about to show you guys are PS3 games that we got for about $5 to $10 each, just because this was a part of almost their overstock. Essentially, we got to look through games from their warehouse that they hadn't really priced accordingly, but they didn't really have the time or the manpower to really sit down and price everything. So pretty much everything was sold at $5 to $10 a piece, and you're gonna see that's pretty good. So this is Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. This is a store. I don't really know necessarily what they're doing in their video game department. They have amazing stuff, but sometimes they don't always price it and put it out. So I'm able to get stuff. Now again, Reckoning, that fits in the $5 to $10 department. But the Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, I mean, you be the judge, right? Nier, they had good stuff in this. It's just they had a tray. Sorry, Jessica's informing me my hands are in the way. They had a tray full of PS3, Wii games, PS1 games, and most of it is filler stuff. Most of it really is. And I guess they just don't really have the time or the manpower to really go through it. Again, here's another game where $5 to $10 is fair. White Knight Chronicles. I believe this is a level 5. Yeah, it's a level 5 game. So, that makes sense. And that's what 90% of the games on that tray were. $5 to $10 games. Yeah, most of the games on that tray were $5 to $10, but then you get stuff like this. Trails of Cold Steel, I want to say it's 2. I don't really know. This is the Lionheart edition, I think is what it's called.
I think so.
I don't know. Either way, that's our our Sony haul. So, for you guys, we're going to end this video and start the next video. That's the Sony portion. Up next is the Microsoft portion. Some of you may think, well, wow, you got really good deals on those, but I do buy a lot of my games from them. I'm going to be getting a Pokemon Blue from them in the coming months, or in the coming days. I bought Skies of Arcadia from them. I buy a lot of games from them, so it kind of works out in the end. I buy a lot of stuff from them. So we're going to end this video and we're going to start the next section, which is going to be Microsoft games. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in part 2 of this.